Good morning, I'm your Mayor John Leech Jr. I'm excited for this show this morning. I'm with Public Works Operation Manager, Rick Austin. You know, I always say every department's very important with the city of Show Low, but I can tell you what, these guys at Public Works are the backbone of everything we do in Show Low. I mean, you guys get called out 24/7, just like our PD does, but these guys are the unsung heroes, can I say. Rick, good morning, and welcome back to the show. I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, I was wondering what you was mad at me or what.
Anyway, we're gonna kind of take a little walk, and Rick's gonna show us some of the new equipment that we've got to let everybody know where your taxpayer dollars are going for these guys. But I can tell you, man, I really love these guys out here at Public Works, and most of you guys that have been in the city for a while probably know most of them. Probably kids are playing softball with them, baseball with them. So let's take a little walk and talk about some of this equipment. I know the blade we just passed.
Yeah, the blade's a couple of years old now. We had an old John Deere that was over 20 years old.
Right.
When I got here, we bought that about 3 years ago. That was one of my first purchases when I came here 7 years ago.
And you look at that piece of equipment and it looks brand new. I mean, how awesome is that? I mean, you guys definitely, I know that is your pet peeve when you first came here was, hey, we clean these trucks every week. We take care of all of our equipment. So Monday morning, we're ready to go again. So it's pretty cool when you can come out here and look at this equipment and go, wow, that's brand new. Nope, that's 3 years old.
Yeah, we even do equipment inspections on a random basis, truck inspections on a random basis. We try to make our equipment last as long as we can. Like the 950 Cat that you see behind us, that piece has over 10,000 hours on it, and it still runs just like new. We're still plowing snow with it. So
you talk about that and the public image. You know, our vehicles are the first ones there on a water break or whatever.
Absolutely.
So the public image, that by keeping our equipment nice is I think very important, because, you know, like I said, the taxpayers are paying for this stuff, and if you show up with trucks and equipment that's beat all up, you know, they're thinking, well, how come we ain't buying this? Stuff's very expensive, and the good thing about some of the things that we do as a city council is we put money aside for you guys, and we do that every year so we can start updating our equipment so it's not a big hit.
You got to realize it's a very strenuous process that we go through. You know, we have several meetings to make sure this is what we need and that's the direction we want Public Works to go in. Right. And you guys have been more than generous in understanding our needs here. So, well,
like I said, you guys are the backbone of the city, and we definitely got to have our equipment up and running, because if you're at an emergency, you just talked about a water main break, and you show up with equipment and it fails, now we have another problem. So Rick, I gotta ask you about this piece of equipment over here. That's beautiful.
Thank you. This is our newest piece of equipment. We haven't even had the blades on the ground yet. This is a Massey that's replacing a 1980s model Massey, and I think you'll still be astonished at the shape that it's in, because we do take care of it. We have records from the day that we buy it to the day we auction it off.
That's awesome. You know, and it's really nice how we can all work together, like I said, to purchase this equipment, because we do save, we do put money aside. You know, some cities would probably love to have the one you're going to retire, because they don't replace their equipment like we do. And I couldn't imagine the process you guys have to go through, because every piece of equipment's important, right?
It is.
So now you got to decide, they're all important, but which one's more important? And you're right, that would be tough.
Right.
But I mean, some of this equipment all looks brand new.
Yeah, and we do it based, we take oil samples every time we change the oil. Every time that we service the hydraulic system, we take samples, so we know what condition that piece of equipment's in. And we can start planning from that, because metal starts showing up, or antifreeze or whatever, but every time we service, we do take a sample and send it in.
When I first walked in here, I go, what is that? So, Rick, what is that?
That's a grapple bucket. It comes in handy when we're like in Project Clean Sweep. We use the grapple buckets. We got them for backhoes, and we're getting them for loaders here next. We pick up tree limbs with it, pallets, all kinds of stuff like that. But this tractor has multi-purpose. We can use it for snow removal. We can use it for the grapple bucket. We have a shouldering machine that goes along with it, and we even have a forklift that goes on it. So we bought it for a multi-purpose piece of equipment. We got an in-house mechanic. He does a lot of the maintenance. On warranty items, because we have CAT, we can send them right next door to CAT.
Wow, that's nice.
They get us right in and right out.
Right.
But Josh Seitz is our in-house mechanic. He does most of the work here in the shop itself, or he has a service truck where he meets us out in the field and he does work there also.
Wow, that's nice. So does he do that all by himself? I mean, it's a lot of equipment.
He is the lone mechanic. He's the Lone Ranger here.
Lone Ranger.
But we have 2 or 3 people that assist him when he gets overwhelmed.
Right. We're walking up onto the service truck you just talked about. So how awesome is that? I mean, you break down in the field and you call your shop, say, hey, we broke down.
We also do fuel, because a lot of times when we're out snow plowing, we have fuel on this truck and a couple others, so we can get out there and not have to drive all the way back to the shop to get fuel and drive all the way back out, especially with some of these loaders.
We've talked a lot about everything that you guys do down here, and I know you guys do pretty much anything you can think of, but I'd rather you explain some of the stuff that all this equipment's for, Rick.
We do a lot here. We have a roads department that takes care of drainage and roads, streets, crack sealing. Snow plowing is one of their big deals. We have water department that takes care of all of our mains, tanks, booster stations, wells, just about anything you can think of with water. We have environmental, which takes care of lift stations and the treatment plant, which we just did like a $10 or $12 million upgrade on that when I first got here.
Right.
And let's see, we got fleet management. We take care of that, any of our trucks, and we got about 140 pieces of equipment total. Wastewater, which we're going to get to the new Vector truck. That's one of our newest piece of equipment. They take care of the collection system, manholes, anything you could think of that's sewer. Parks is with us also. We just got them a couple years ago. They take care of all of our parks and just about any little, trees and cemetery and all of that.
Sure.
One thing I'd like to mention is when we're out snowing, we take care of 250 lane miles of road.
And speaking of that, keep your cars off the road so these guys can do their job.
Yeah, it's
I know
amazing.
You did the snow management plan, I think at the end of the year, maybe the first of this year. You brought it to the city council. You and Ryan Hall do a great job with that.
Thank you.
But we always preach, keep the cars off the sidewalk so that you guys can just go through and get it done. And because you got 200, what'd you just say?
250 lane miles.
That's a lot of miles for the staff that you have. And I know you guys rotate and move people around, but.
Well, we're 12 hours on, 12 hours off.
And then everybody becomes plow drivers, right?
Absolutely. Everybody.
Everybody, it doesn't matter what department you're in, get behind that plow.
You're now a plow person.
Well, Rick, let's take a walk over here and talk about the new piece of equipment.
So this is one of 2 large hydros we have. We have 2 small ones also.
Right. So does our staff have to be retrained because this is new? I think about when I was on the fire department, we got a new engine or something, we'd all have to retrain. Is this one, is there basically kind of the same of what we already have?
No, this is actually a newer model, new equipment. But with every piece of equipment we do get, we get the manufacturer, the truck people here, the chassis people.
Oh, good.
We get everybody that was involved in building this truck for training.
Wow, that's awesome.
We did an 8-hour training on just this truck.
I got to see more of this. Thing's beautiful.
Thank you. And one of the new features on this truck is remote control. So we no longer have to stand in front of that truck when we're operating it.
Okay.
We can run it by remote control off the side of the curb so it's safer for my employees. We use it for when we have major water leaks. We can draw all that water up into this tank and keep it clear for our guys to get in the ditch and work.
That makes sense.
cleaning out lift stations. They have to be cleaned out ever so often because the grit settles in them.
Right.
This truck cleans all that out.
Wow. Rick, you know what? I want to thank you again.
Sure
I know
thing.
it's been a few months since we've done a show together, but like I said earlier, Public Works is the backbone of our town and our city, and I absolutely love doing a show with Rick because we could talk about Public Works all day long. He could talk about equipment. I could talk about how much I absolutely love these guys that work here. I know probably 90% of them, probably went to school with a lot of them, but it's so awesome to get out here and show everybody what you guys have, and I'm so proud of what you guys do and how you run the department down here.
I appreciate
it's just
that.
phenomenal. But Rick, thank you again very much. And
Thank you.
keep up the good work, man. Tell everybody thank you
I will.
from me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.